From going toe-to-toe in a title decider with Nico Rosberg to absolutely demolishing Sebastian Vettel en route to a dominant win, these are all 5 of Lewis Hamilton's victories at Austin. The 2012 US Grand Prix in Austin kicked off with Sebastian Vettel blazing from pole position as expected. But the early moments brought frustration for Lewis Hamilton, who, starting from the dirty side of the track, quickly lost his second-place spot to Red Bull's Mark Webber. Hamilton, however, is never one to stay down for long. By lap 4, once his tyres warmed up, he began showing the blistering pace that had brought him within a hair, just 0.1 seconds of Vettel in qualifying. Hamilton's speed through Sector 1 was particularly impressive, and it didn't take long for him to reclaim second place by overtaking Webber. From there, his sights were set on the reigning world champion. As the gap to Vettel shrank to 2.1 seconds, Hamilton found himself edging into DRS range, a dangerous place for any competitor. Meanwhile, things were unravelling for Webber, who retired with a KERS issue on lap 17. This opened the door for Ferrari's Fernando Alonso, who moved into third, while Kimi Raikkonen surged into fourth, though a clumsy pit stop soon slowed him down. Hamilton briefly fell back to over 3 seconds behind Vettel but pitted for fresh tyres on lap 20. A swift 2.4-second stop had him back on track and closing in once again. By lap 42, the moment everyone was waiting for arrived. In a daring DRS-assisted move, Hamilton swept around the outside of Vettel on the long straight, braking late to steal the lead. The crowd roared as Hamilton celebrated with pure elation, almost losing his iconic Pirelli Stetson in the process. Lewis Hamilton's victory at the 2014 US Grand Prix was more than just another win. It truly was history in the making. Securing his 10th win of the season and the 32nd of his career, Hamilton officially overtook Nigel Mansell to become the most successful British F1 driver ever. Back then, it was his 5th consecutive win, a streak last matched by Mansell back in 1992. Hamilton finished 4.3 seconds ahead of teammate Nico Rosberg, widening his lead in the championship by 24 points. His title rival Rosberg started from pole on the cleaner side of the grid and had a slight advantage, leading him to get off the line as well. Hamilton, unfazed, slipped into his teammate's draft, patiently waiting for his moment. By the time both drivers had switched to medium tyres, it was clear that Hamilton was finding his rhythm. On lap 21, he was closing in fast, just 1.4 seconds behind Rosberg. By lap 23, he was within DRS range, with only 0.8 seconds separating the two Mercedes. Then on lap 24, Hamilton made his move. Rosberg went slightly wide at turn 12, leaving just enough room for Hamilton to dive past. In a flash, Hamilton was through, forcing Rosberg slightly off the track. It was tough, hard racing, but perfectly legal. The overtake was reminiscent of Hamilton's daring pass on Sebastian Vettel at this very circuit in 2012. Once ahead, Hamilton pulled away effortlessly, cruising to victory while most of the action unfolded behind him. His 2015 win was nothing short of a roller coaster, a chaotic, action-packed race filled with crashes, safety cars, and moments of pure unpredictability. For the American crowd, it was a spectacle they would never forget. Lewis Hamilton entered the race needing to finish ahead of his 2 main rivals, Sebastian Vettel and Nico Rosberg, to clinch his 3rd world title. And he did exactly that, crossing the finish line with 76 points clear of his nearest rival and sealing the championship with 3 races to spare. The race, however, was far from straightforward. Starting second on the grid, Hamilton wasted no time attacking Rosberg, who had the pole. As they barreled into turn 1, Hamilton squeezed his teammate wide, forcing Rosberg down to 4th place. It was classic wheel-to-wheel combat between the two, and once again Rosberg came up short in a direct battle with his fiercest competitor. Despite this early setback though, Rosberg fought back, reclaiming the lead on lap 23 as Hamilton struggled on worn tyres. You would be forgiven for thinking that would be the end of the action for the race, but there was more to come. Just like there's more to come from our channel, so if you're enjoying the content, make sure you subscribe. With just 15 laps remaining, Red Bull's Daniel Kvyat spun out, bringing out the safety car and giving Hamilton the opportunity to pit for fresh rubber. It seemed Rosberg had the race in hand until he made a costly mistake on lap 48, running wide and allowing Hamilton to pounce. The victory was Hamilton's third in Austin, but more importantly, it crowned him the world champion for the third time. Lewis Hamilton's 50th Formula One victory at the 2016 US Grand Prix was nothing short of dominant. From the very start, Hamilton executed the most critical part of his race flawlessly, getting off the line cleanly. After a season plagued by poor starts in key races like Australia, Bahrain and Japan, this time he nailed it. As he charged up the steep hill to the first corner, Hamilton kept Nico Rosberg at bay. Rosberg tried his luck on the outside but miscalculated, running wide in the opening bend. That small mistake opened the door for Daniel Ricciardo, who swept past Rosberg on his super soft tyres. By the end of lap 1, Hamilton had already built a 0.8-second lead, showcasing the same form that had earned him pole the day before. As Hamilton stretched his lead, Rosberg struggled to find a way around Ricciardo, who managed to squeeze 8 laps out of his super softs before pitting for soft tyres. Ricciardo's chances of finishing ahead of Rosberg slipped away when the virtual safety car was deployed after Max Verstappen's breakdown. Despite Hamilton's smooth race up front, there were signs of confusion on the Mercedes pit wall. They told Rosberg to push hard, while also talking about playing the long game, leaving the championship leader frustrated. Even a near mix-up on pit strategy didn't faze Hamilton, who stayed composed pretty much throughout. The 2017 US Grand Prix unfolded with the anticipation of a Hamilton-Vettel showdown, and the start did not disappoint. As the lights went out, Sebastian Vettel's Ferrari lunged into the lead, catching Lewis Hamilton off guard. But Hamilton, ever calm and composed, knew the circuit of the Americas well and bided his time. By lap 6, he was back in control, reclaiming the lead from Vettel, and from there, the race was his to command. In fact, Hamilton even described it as one of the most enjoyable in a while. Hamilton's calm approach was reminiscent of his battle with Vettel at the same track in 2012. But this time, the fight didn't last long. After retaking the lead, Hamilton stayed in control, except for a brief moment of concern after his pit stop, when Vettel got closer than expected. "Why did you let him get so close?" Hamilton quipped over the radio, as his team reassured him. Though Vettel chased, he couldn't mount another serious challenge. Instead, he passed Valtteri Bottas on lap 51 and quickly overtook his teammate Kimi Räikkönen to finish second. But it was too little too late, as Hamilton sealed a comfortable and commanding win in Austin. Which of these victories was your favourite? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe to Formula Royale for the best F1 content. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.